Have you ever noticed how, after a meal, sometimes your stomach feels heavy or uncomfortable, and you just want to sit down or even lie down? Many of us chalk it up to getting older, as if these little struggles are just part of the aging process. But what if I told you it's not just age? What if simple habits right after eating are quietly affecting your health in ways you never expected? It's easy to overlook these small moments, thinking they're harmless, but they can make a big difference in how your body feels and how long you stay healthy. In this video, I'll share 4 surprising things to avoid after meals that can help you feel better and keep you on track to living a vibrant, healthy life well into your golden years. Stick around. I promise it's easier than you think. We're on this journey together. If you are not subscribed, subscribe and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. No. Number 1. Don't sit down immediately after eating. Have you ever noticed how, after finishing a meal, your body seems to crave a moment of stillness? Maybe you push your plate aside, let out a small sigh, and settle into your favorite chair by the window. The world outside continues its steady hum, but inside your living room, there's a comforting sense of routine. Perhaps the TV murmurs in the background, or a familiar novel rests in your lap. For so many of us, especially as we get older, sitting down right after eating has become almost automatic. It feels like a well-earned rest, a little pause in the day. But is this comforting habit as harmless as it seems? Most people, especially in their golden years, don't even question it. After all, you've spent decades listening to your body, and when you're tired or a bit achy, a chair calls out with irresistible promise. Meals can take effort, too. The planning, the cooking, the dishes. Maybe you've noticed that, over time, you feel a little more sluggish after lunch, or your joints protest a bit more than they used to. The idea of getting up and moving feels like it belongs to a younger version of yourself, so you sit, just for a minute, maybe more. Sometimes, that minute turns into an hour, or you even drift off for a quick nap. But let me ask you something that might sound a little surprising. What if this very routine, the gentle act of sitting down right after you eat, isn't just an innocent comfort? What if, instead of helping your body recover and digest, it's quietly making things a little harder on your system? Most of us grew up hearing that rest is good for us, especially as we age, and that taking it easy is the smart thing to do. But sometimes, the routines that seem most natural are the ones that deserve a closer look. Is it normal to feel that heaviness in your stomach after meals, or the urge to nap as soon as you finish eating? Is there something we're missing? A hidden truth behind that slow, tired feeling? Let's take a step back and look at what's happening inside your body right after you finish eating. When you take that last bite, your digestive system springs into action. Your stomach starts breaking down food, sending signals to your pancreas and liver, and getting the intestines ready to absorb nutrients. All this activity requires a surprising amount of blood flow and energy. If you imagine your body as a small town, the post-meal period is like rush hour. Traffic is rerouted, resources are shifted, and your digestive streets are bustling. Now, here's the part many people don't realize. When you immediately sit down, especially if you remain very still, your circulation slows. Your heart rate drops, your blood pools in your lower extremities, and your digestive organs don't get as much help as they need. This can make the entire process of breaking down food slower and less efficient. It's not just about calories or fat. It's about how your body moves nutrients, removes waste, and keeps everything running smoothly. The sluggishness you feel isn't just in your mind. It's literally in your bloodstream. Modern science has a name for this. It's called postprandial hypoperfusion, which is a fancy way of saying your gut doesn't get as much blood as it needs after eating if you don't move around a bit. Studies at several major medical centers, including the Mayo Clinic and Johns Hopkins, have shown that gentle movement after a meal can speed up digestion, stabilize blood sugar, and even improve mood. Conversely, Remaining still can increase your risk of indigestion, bloating, heartburn, and, over time, even issues with blood pressure and blood sugar control. Some of you may be thinking, well, I'm not running a marathon. What difference does a little movement make? That's a fair question. The answer is, more than you might imagine. You don't need to break a sweat or march around the block at record pace. Studies have found that something as simple as walking slowly around your house for 5 to 10 minutes after a meal can make a significant difference. It gets your circulation moving, helps your muscles absorb glucose from your food, and keeps your joints supple. Even standing up to wash a few dishes or tending to your plants counts as positive movement. Let's put this into a real-life perspective. Think about your own experiences. How often have you felt bloated, a little nauseous, or even dizzy after a meal? It's tempting to blame it all on getting older, but much of it has to do with how our bodies handle food and rest. You might remember a time, years ago, when you ate a hearty meal and then went outside to take a walk, work in the garden, or play with your grandkids. Compare how you felt then to how you feel now after sitting down and staying put. The difference might surprise you. Take the story of Mary, for example. She's 79, a retired librarian from Ohio. For most of her life, Mary followed a routine: breakfast, lunch, dinner, and right after, her favorite armchair and a crossword puzzle. Lately, though, she noticed her stomach felt unsettled, and she often felt groggy and a little down in the afternoons. Her doctor suggested trying a new habit. Instead of heading straight to her chair, Mary started walking laps around her living room. Just 5 minutes, no rush. At first, she felt silly, and it wasn't easy to break the habit. But after a week, something remarkable happened. Her digestion improved, her afternoon brain fog began to lift, and she found she had more energy for her hobbies. She called it her magic 5-minute fix. Maybe you're not ready to walk laps in your living room, and that's okay. The important thing is to remember that even a small change can have a big impact. You don't have to sign up for an exercise class or push yourself beyond your comfort zone. Gentle movement, however you define it, can be a powerful tool for your health. If you're looking for ideas, here are a few simple ways to get moving after your meals. Take a slow walk, indoors or outdoors, depending on your comfort and the weather. It doesn't need to be far or fast. Even walking from one end of your house to the other, a few times, can do wonders. Tend to a hobby: watering plants, straightening up the living room, folding laundry, or doing a small craft at the kitchen counter while standing. Stand and stretch. Reach your arms overhead, roll your shoulders, or gently twist your torso from side to side. Chat with a loved one. Stand while talking on the phone, or walk in place as you catch up with a friend or grandchild. Do the dishes by hand. It's a quiet, meditative activity that gets you standing and moving after you eat. You might find that these simple actions not only help your digestion but also give you a little extra clarity and calm in your day. You may even start to look forward to these moments, treating them as a time to reconnect with yourself and your surroundings. Of course, every person's body is different. If you have a medical condition that makes movement difficult or risky, always talk with your doctor first. But for most people, gentle activity is safe and beneficial. The key is to listen to your body and do what feels right for you. Over time, as you build this habit, you might notice other positive changes, too. Some people report that their sleep improves, they have fewer aches and pains, and they even feel a boost in their mood and memory. It's not magic. It's just giving your body the little bit of help it needs to do what it does best. Think of this. You've spent a lifetime caring for others, your family, your friends, your community. Now, in this stage of life, it's just as important to care for yourself. A few mindful minutes after each meal can be a simple, loving way to say, "I'm worth it. My well-being matters." And if, like Mary, you feel a bit odd changing your routine, remember you're not alone. Many people are rediscovering the benefits of gentle movement at every age. Even the 88-year-old brain doctor who inspired this advice credits his daily post-meal strolls with keeping his mind sharp and his body steady. So, the next time you finish a meal and your chair calls your name, pause for a moment. Ask yourself, what does my body need right now? Maybe it's just a few steps, a stretch, or a stroll outside to feel the breeze. Maybe it's moving to your favorite music for a song or two. Whatever it is, trust that these small acts add up day after day. Life doesn't have to slow down just because we grow older. Sometimes, the smallest step forward can make all the difference. Not just for your digestion, but for your independence, your confidence, and your joy. You've earned every comfort life has to offer. Now, give your body the support it needs to keep enjoying them. Don't be afraid to start small. Even standing up, stretching your arms, and walking to the window counts. Over time, you'll find the rhythm that works for you. Share your journey with a friend or loved one, and encourage them to join you. Celebrate each step, and remember, it's never too late to make a change for the better. If you've struggled with sluggishness, bloating, or that afternoon slump after meals, try adding a little movement to your routine. It may feel unusual at first, but your body will thank you. And as you continue, you'll notice the difference, not just in how you digest your food, but in how you experience your days. Let's make these golden years truly golden, together, one gentle walk at a time. Number 2. Avoid drinking lots of water right after eating. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. After a good meal, it's almost second nature to reach for your glass of water, iced tea, or favorite beverage and take a big, satisfying gulp. Maybe you feel a bit parched, especially if the food was a little salty or you've been talking with family around the dinner table. There's something comforting about washing everything down, feeling the coolness slide down your throat. Many of us have spent years with this simple routine: eat, then drink. We've even been told it's important to stay hydrated, especially as we get older. So, what could be wrong with having a big drink of water right after eating? It seems harmless, right? In fact, in many families, finishing a meal with a tall glass of water is as American as apple pie. For some, it's a habit that goes back to childhood. Parents would line up little cups of milk or water at the dinner table, making sure everyone drank up before leaving their seats. Maybe you've carried that habit into adulthood, telling your grandkids to finish your water before you go. Or perhaps, with so much advice these days about the importance of hydration, you feel proud that you're doing something healthy. But let's take a step back for a moment and ask a question that might sound a bit unusual. What if drinking a lot of water right after eating isn't quite as beneficial as we've been led to believe? Could this simple, wholesome-seeming habit be working against your body, especially your digestion, without you even knowing it? Now, this isn't to say that water is bad for you. Far from it. Our bodies need water to function, and as we age, staying hydrated is vital. But the timing and the amount can make a big difference in how we feel after meals, and in how our bodies process what we eat. Many people notice that, after drinking a large amount of water right after a meal, they feel a little too full, maybe even a bit uncomfortable. Sometimes there's a tightness or a bubbling sensation in the stomach, or an urge to burp. Others experience sluggishness, a mild heartburn, or, ironically, even thirst a short time later. It's easy to brush these feelings off as part of getting older, but the truth is, there's a simple scientific reason behind it. One that has to do with how your body digests food. Let's take a closer look at what happens after you finish a meal. When you eat, your stomach gets to work, mixing the food with powerful digestive juices, mainly hydrochloric acid and enzymes. These are strong substances, specifically designed to break down everything you eat so that your body can absorb nutrients efficiently. Imagine your stomach as a busy kitchen, with a team of expert chefs whipping up a complicated dish. They need just the right balance of heat, seasoning, and technique to get things right. Now, picture what would happen if you suddenly dumped a big bucket of cold water into their pots. Everything would cool down, the flavors would get diluted, and the chefs would have to work twice as hard to finish the meal. That's a lot like what happens in your stomach when you flood it with water immediately after eating. The digestive juices become diluted, and the acidity drops. This makes it harder for your body to break down food as efficiently as it should. Some research even suggests that lower stomach acidity can let certain bacteria survive and multiply, potentially leading to bloating and discomfort. You might be wondering, but isn't drinking water supposed to help everything move along? It's a reasonable assumption. After all, we need water to help keep things flowing in our digestive tract, and dehydration is something to avoid. The key, though, is balance and timing. Drinking moderate amounts of water throughout the day helps keep your entire body, including your digestive system, functioning well. But when you drink a lot right after a meal, you're watering down your stomach's best tools for the job. Over time, this can contribute to symptoms like indigestion, gas, bloating, and even issues with nutrient absorption. Some older adults have noticed that they feel heavy or overly full after eating, not realizing that their habit of finishing a meal with a big drink might be playing a role. So, what's the gentle, practical solution? It's surprisingly simple, and you don't have to give up water or go thirsty. The goal is to stay hydrated by drinking small amounts of water before meals, during the day, and waiting a bit after you eat before reaching for that big glass. If you're thirsty immediately after a meal, try taking small sips instead of gulping down a whole glass. Many health experts suggest that the best times to hydrate are about 30 minutes before a meal or at least 30 minutes after. This gives your body the chance to use its digestive juices to their full potential, breaking down your food effectively, and then you can replenish fluids once the main work is done. Think of it as letting those chefs finish the meal before you start cleaning up the kitchen. Here's a story that might sound familiar. Jim, a retired firefighter from Texas, always prided himself on drinking lots of water. "You've got to stay hydrated," he'd say, filling his glass before, during, and after every meal. But he began noticing that after lunch, especially if he drank a lot of water, he felt bloated, a little queasy, and sometimes even had to loosen his belt. At first, he thought it was just age catching up with him, but when his doctor suggested changing his routine, he decided to try something new. Jim started sipping water throughout the morning, drank a little before lunch, but waited about 45 minutes after eating before having a full glass. The result? His bloating improved, he felt less sluggish, and his stomach just seemed happier. "It took me nearly 70 years to figure that out," he laughs. But better late than never. For some, changing the routine can feel odd at first, especially if you're used to the habit of drinking with or right after your meal. You might worry about feeling thirsty or about getting enough water during the day. Here are some easy, gentle ways to make adjustments. Start your day with a glass of water when you wake up, before breakfast. Keep a small water bottle handy and sip regularly, so you're not desperately thirsty by mealtime. Have a few sips if you're thirsty during the meal. Just don't chug a whole glass at once. After you finish eating, wait 30 to 60 minutes before having a larger drink. Listen to your body. If you're taking medication that requires water, or if your doctor has specific hydration instructions, always follow those first. Hydration is important, especially as we get older, because our sense of thirst can become less reliable. Many seniors are at risk for dehydration, especially during hot weather or if they're taking certain medications. The goal isn't to avoid water, it's to give your body a little time to do its digestive work first. Another helpful tip: if you're having soup or a very watery meal, your body is already getting extra fluids from the food itself. In these cases, it's even more important to pay attention to your comfort. If you feel uncomfortably full or notice digestive upset after meals with lots of fluids, try waiting a bit longer before drinking. The benefits of this small change can add up. Many people report that they feel lighter after meals, with less bloating and more energy. Some notice fewer issues with acid reflux or heartburn. For those with diabetes or blood sugar concerns, Improving digestion can even help keep blood sugar levels steadier after eating. You may even notice you feel less thirsty overall, since your body is using water more efficiently. If you're the kind of person who enjoys socializing over dinner, you might find this habit easier if you plan. Pour yourself a half glass to sip slowly with your meal, and then enjoy a full glass together with coffee or tea a little later, as you continue the conversation. Make it a new routine, and see how your body responds. Everyone's needs are a bit different, and if you're living with certain health conditions, like kidney problems, heart failure, or other medical issues, always talk to your doctor or dietitian before changing how and when you hydrate. But for most people, simply spacing out your fluids is a safe, gentle adjustment that supports better digestion. It's amazing how such a small change can bring more comfort and well-being. Sometimes, we get so caught up in long-standing habits that we forget to listen to what our bodies are telling us. That discomfort you've been feeling after meals may not be an inevitable part of aging. It may just be a signal that your digestive kitchen needs a little less water so it can finish the job. Let's be honest. Life is full of rules and advice, and it's easy to feel overwhelmed by all the do's and don'ts. But this is one adjustment that's easy to try and even easier to keep. You don't need any special equipment, and you won't have to remember complicated schedules. All it takes is a little patience and attention. So next time you finish a meal, pause for a moment before reaching for that big glass of water. Maybe take a walk, call a friend, or just relax and savor the flavors still lingering on your palate. When you do have a drink later, notice if you feel better. Notice if your stomach feels less weighed down, and if your afternoons are a little brighter. You might be surprised by the difference. And you just might find that, in this small way, you're supporting your body's natural wisdom, helping it work the way it's meant to, even as the years go by. If you try this change, share your experience with a loved one, or leave a comment to let others know how it works for you. Sometimes, the best health secrets aren't about doing more, but about doing just a little bit less, and letting our bodies do what they do best. You've spent a lifetime taking care of others and adapting to life's changes. This time, try giving your own body a simple, thoughtful gift. A pause, a breath, and a little patience after each meal. Here's to feeling lighter, more comfortable, and living these years with a little more ease. Remember, it's not about giving up what you love. It's about timing, balance, and listening to the gentle cues your body offers. So go ahead, savor your meal, take your time, and know that your body and your health are worth every mindful moment. Number 3. Avoid sleeping immediately after eating. After a satisfying meal, it's perfectly natural to feel the gentle pull of drowsiness. Maybe it's a cozy afternoon, the sun pouring through your living room window, or a quiet evening when the day's work is finally done. You've just finished eating, perhaps a comforting bowl of chicken soup or a hearty sandwich, and suddenly, a wave of sleepiness washes over you. The couch or your favorite recliner looks especially inviting. And you think, why not close your eyes for a little while? Isn't this one of the simple joys of retirement? Being able to nap when you please, no clock to punch, no boss to answer to? For many older adults, this scene is all too familiar. Dozing off after a meal can feel like a well-deserved reward for a life of hard work. Maybe you've even heard that a nap is good for digestion, or that you need more rest as you age. But have you ever noticed how, after sleeping right after eating, you sometimes wake up feeling groggy or more uncomfortable than before? Perhaps there's a heaviness in your chest, a sour taste in your mouth, or a sense that your body hasn't fully settled. You might wonder if it's just a part of getting older, if that's simply the way things go now. But let's flip this idea on its head for a moment. What if falling asleep right after a meal isn't as harmless or as helpful as we've always thought? Could this simple, comforting habit be causing more problems than it solves, especially for our digestion and overall well-being? To answer that, let's take a little journey inside your body. When you eat, your digestive system shifts into high gear. Your stomach and intestines are busy breaking down food, absorbing nutrients, and managing the complex process of turning what you eat into energy for your cells. This requires a surprising amount of coordination. Your brain, your muscles, and your circulation all work together to get the job done. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Now, here's what happens when you lie down or fall asleep too soon after eating. Gravity, which usually helps keep food and stomach acids where they belong, is suddenly out of the equation. Instead of moving smoothly through your digestive tract, food can linger in your stomach longer than it should. Stomach acid can also more easily flow backward into your esophagus, leading to that unpleasant sensation known as heartburn or acid reflux. This isn't just uncomfortable. Over time, repeated reflux can damage the lining of your esophagus and even increase the risk of more serious health issues. It's not just acid reflux that's a concern. Sleeping right after eating can make you feel bloated or cause indigestion. Your body, rather than being awake and gently active, is focused on rest and repair, not on digesting a big meal. Blood flow is redirected away from your digestive system, which can slow everything down. Some people notice that when they nap or sleep right after eating, they wake up with a dry mouth, a pounding heart, or even a headache. Science backs this up. Research has shown that lying down after a meal is associated with a higher risk of nighttime heartburn, disrupted sleep, and even a greater chance of weight gain and metabolic issues over time. In a study published by the National Institutes of Health, people who consistently went to sleep soon after dinner experienced more severe acid reflux, worse sleep quality, and even increased risk of strokes compared to those who waited at least an hour or two. It might seem like a small thing, a nap here, a quick snooze there. But these little habits add up, shaping how you feel every day. The good news? Changing this pattern doesn't mean giving up rest or the comfort of your favorite chair. It's simply about timing and tuning in to what your body needs after you eat. So, what's a gentle, practical solution you can start right now? After you finish your meal, give your body a little time before lying down or napping. Aim for at least an hour, 2 if you can. During this time, try engaging in light activities. Take a stroll around your home or garden. Stand and chat with a family member. Read a book in a sitting position, or work on a puzzle at the kitchen table. Even small movements, like washing the dishes or tending to houseplants, can help keep digestion moving in the right direction. Let me share a true story. Doris, a 76-year-old grandmother from Minnesota, used to nap every afternoon right after lunch. She'd settle into her recliner, pull a cozy blanket over her legs, and drift off. But she often woke up feeling unrefreshed, sometimes with heartburn that lasted well into the evening. At her next doctor's visit, Doris mentioned her symptoms, and her physician suggested she wait an hour after lunch before lying down. At first, this felt like a major change. But Doris started filling the time with gentle stretches and short walks in her backyard. Within a week, she noticed her heartburn almost disappeared, her naps felt more restful, and she had more energy through the afternoon. "I never realized how much difference an hour could make," Doris said. "I thought I was just getting old, but I just needed to change my routine." It's worth noting that you don't need to do anything strenuous. In fact, heavy exercise right after a meal isn't recommended either. The goal is gentle movement, not a workout. And if mobility is a challenge for you, even sitting upright and doing light arm or neck stretches is helpful. If you're someone who enjoys an afternoon nap, that's wonderful. Rest is important at any age. Just give yourself a little digestion time first. If you find yourself sleepy after eating, try sipping a warm cup of herbal tea while sitting upright, listening to your favorite music, or calling a friend. If you're alone, perhaps use the time to look out the window, notice the weather, or even write a note to a loved one. These small acts fill the waiting time with purpose and connection. Of course, everyone's body is unique. If you have medical conditions that affect your sleep or digestion, or if you're taking medications that make you drowsy after meals, consult with your doctor for advice tailored to you. But for most people, waiting before lying down is a gentle, effective step toward better digestion and more restful sleep. Let's be honest, as we age, routines become anchors in our lives. It's easy to hold on to habits that feel comforting, especially those tied to food and rest. But sometimes, small shifts can create big improvements in how we feel. That hour after a meal can be a time to nourish not just your body, but your mind and spirit, too. Imagine using that time to reconnect with yourself, your memories, or the people you care about. Maybe you write a letter, listen to a grandchild's story, or simply enjoy the quiet presence of your home. Even the act of mindful breathing, sitting upright, and feeling your body digest can become a small ritual of self-care. If you're still not convinced, try an experiment. For the next week, resist the urge to nap right after your main meal. Notice how your body responds. Is your digestion better? Do you sleep more soundly at night? Does your mood lift a little in the afternoons? Write down your observations and share them with a loved one. You may discover, like Doris did, that this gentle shift transforms your afternoons from sluggish to vibrant. Above all, remember this: you deserve to feel comfortable and cared for every day. These golden years aren't just about looking back, they're about finding new ways to feel good in your skin. By giving your body the time it needs to process and digest before sleep, you're setting yourself up for more energy, fewer aches, and sweeter dreams at night. So next time you finish your meal and your favorite chair looks especially tempting, pause. Look around your home. Find a gentle activity to fill the next hour, however small it may be. Trust that your body is wise and capable, and that a little patience now will pay off in comfort and well-being later. If you've struggled with heartburn, bloating, or restless sleep, consider giving this simple habit a try. You might be surprised by how much better you feel, how much more you enjoy your food, and how much energy you gain for the moments that matter most. The journey to better health doesn't always require drastic changes. Sometimes, the smallest decisions, like waiting before you rest, make all the difference. Celebrate these victories, however modest they may seem. Share your progress with others, and encourage a friend or family member to join you. We're all in this together, learning and growing at every stage of life. Let's make these years vibrant and joyful, one mindful choice at a time. Your body, your mind, and your heart will thank you. Number 4. Avoid overeating or snacking right after your main meal. There's something about finishing a good meal that makes the kitchen feel especially inviting. Maybe you've just pushed away your plate, content after a delicious lunch or dinner, but then you find your eyes drifting back to that loaf of bread on the counter, the cookie jar near the stove, or the last slice of pie sitting all alone in the pan. Perhaps there's a bowl of candy on the living room table, or a familiar urge to reach for a salty snack while you turn on your favorite afternoon show. For so many of us, eating doesn't stop when the meal ends. It just changes shape, slipping from dinner time to just a little something extra. This habit can feel harmless, even comforting, especially if you've grown up in a home where food was a way to show love, to ease boredom, or simply to mark the passing of the day. Maybe you live alone now, and the gentle rustle of a snack bag fills the quiet. Or perhaps it's a social thing. Family members or friends gather after Sunday dinner, chatting over a second helping or a handful of nuts. Sometimes, especially as we get older, food can become more than just fuel. It's company, memory, tradition, and a source of pleasure all in one. But let me ask you something that might sound a little unexpected. What if eating more food right after your main meal, even just a few bites here and there, isn't the harmless pleasure it seems? What if, instead of giving you more energy or helping you wind down, this habit is quietly making your digestion harder and your body more sluggish, even increasing health risks you might not have considered? It's easy to believe that a little extra here and there won't make a difference. After all, you're not eating a whole second dinner. Just a treat, a nibble, a handful of crackers. Isn't it normal to keep eating until you feel truly full, especially if you're enjoying yourself? But science and experience tell us there's a real difference between eating until you're satisfied and eating past the point of comfort. The problem isn't just about calories or weight, either. Overeating and mindless snacking, especially right after a meal, can strain your digestive system, disrupt your blood sugar, and, over time, set the stage for bigger health problems like diabetes, heart disease, or digestive discomfort. Let's peek into what happens inside your body after a main meal. As you finish eating, your stomach is already busy breaking down food, sending nutrients to your blood, and telling your brain it's time to rest. This process takes time, sometimes up to 2 or 3 hours for your body to process what you've eaten. When you keep eating or start snacking right after, you're asking your system to start the whole process over again, piling on extra work. The stomach stays stretched, the pancreas has to pump out more insulin to manage the sugar load, and your gut never really gets the rest period it needs. For older adults, this effect can be even more pronounced. Our digestion slows down naturally as we age. The muscles in our stomach and intestines aren't quite as strong, and our bodies don't bounce back from extra strain as quickly. Eating more than we need, or grazing constantly, can lead to bloating, gas, and that uncomfortable, heavy feeling that lingers for hours. Worse, frequent post-meal snacking, especially on sweets, bread, or chips, can spike blood sugar and put you on a blood sugar roller coaster that leaves you tired, cranky, or even lightheaded. It's worth noting that the urge to keep eating isn't always about true hunger. Sometimes, it's habit. Your body and mind are simply used to the comfort of eating, and you may not even realize you're reaching for another bite. Other times, it's emotion, a way to soothe stress, loneliness, or boredom. In some cases, medications or health conditions can play a role in appetite, making it harder to recognize the difference between need and want. So, what can you do if you find yourself wandering back to the kitchen or reaching for snacks after meals? The answer isn't about denying yourself pleasure or going hungry. Instead, it's about tuning into your body, noticing what you need, and making gentle changes that support your health without taking away joy. Here are a few practical tips to help you avoid overeating or snacking right after your main meal. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Pause and check in. After you finish your meal, take a few minutes to sit quietly and pay attention to how your body feels. Are you truly hungry, or just looking for comfort? Sometimes, it takes a little while for your brain to catch up with your stomach and recognize fullness. Clear the table and put away leftovers. If tempting foods are out of sight, you're less likely to eat them out of habit. Make it a gentle ritual to wrap up leftovers and tidy the kitchen soon after eating. Drink a small glass of water or warm tea. Sometimes, what feels like hunger is thirst or the need for something soothing. Shift your focus. Fill the post-meal hour with a pleasant activity. Call a friend, read, take a walk, or work on a hobby. If you can make a new tradition for yourself, you'll have less time and attention for mindless eating. Plan for snacks. If you do need to eat between meals, plan for it. Choose healthy, satisfying options like fresh fruit, a handful of nuts, or a small piece of cheese, and eat them a few hours after your meal, not immediately. Let's bring in a real story. Bill, a 72-year-old retired school principal from Pennsylvania, always found himself standing in front of the pantry after dinner. It wasn't about hunger, he admits. I just missed the noise and bustle of a full house. After his wife passed and the kids moved away, food became his companion. Bill would have a slice of pie, then a couple of cookies, and then, feeling bad about it, decide to skip breakfast the next day. But his weight crept up, and he started feeling sluggish and down. His doctor encouraged him to try a new habit. After dinner, Bill would call his daughter, or walk to the mailbox and back. He started putting leftovers away right after eating, and let himself have a planned treat, a square of dark chocolate or a cup of herbal tea, about 2 hours later, if he still wanted it. Over the next few months, Bill's energy improved, he slept better, and he found new pleasure in the quiet hours of the evening. If you're thinking, but eating is one of my few pleasures these days, you're not alone. Food should always be a source of joy and connection, especially as we age. The idea isn't to take away pleasure, but to savor it fully. At the right time, in the right amount, and with full awareness. When you give your body time to rest after a meal, you enjoy your food more, and you feel better afterwards. Sometimes, it helps to remind yourself that feeling comfortably full is a gift. Being stuffed, bloated, or regretful isn't necessary to get the satisfaction you crave. If you've already eaten a nourishing meal, trust that your body has what it needs for now. Treat the next few hours as a chance to focus on something new. Learning, connecting, moving, or simply being present in your home. For those who have struggled with lifelong habits of snacking, remember, change takes time. Be gentle with yourself. If you slip up, notice how your body feels, and try again the next day. It can be helpful to keep a little journal, jotting down what you eat, how you feel, and any patterns you notice. Over time, you'll find your balance, a rhythm of eating that leaves you satisfied, not stuffed. Above all, remember that these years are about honoring your needs and caring for yourself. You've earned the right to make choices that serve your health and happiness. A little mindfulness around meals is a way of saying, I value myself enough to pause and listen. If you're a caretaker or share meals with others, involve them in your journey. Explain why you're making changes, and invite them to join you. You might be surprised at how supportive friends and family can be, and how much better you all feel together. So next time you finish a meal and your hand starts to reach for just one more bite, pause. Ask yourself, is this what I really need right now, or am I just following a habit? Give your body the gift of rest, and notice the difference it makes, not just in your digestion, but in your energy, your mood, and your sense of control. The journey to healthier habits isn't about perfection. It's about progress, patience, and self-kindness. Celebrate every small victory, a meal enjoyed without overeating, a snack postponed for later, an evening spent doing something that fills your heart instead of your stomach. Let these moments add up. Over time, you'll find that you're not just eating better. You're living better, with more comfort, confidence, and joy in each day. And remember, you're not alone. Many people are discovering that a little awareness and a few new routines can make all the difference. If you notice improvements, share your experience with a friend, neighbor, or even in the comments below. Your story could inspire someone else on their path to health. You've nourished so many in your life: family, friends, community. Now let yourself be nourished, too. Not just by food, but by rest, activity, and all the sweet things that life after 65 can offer. Give your body the time and space to thrive, and watch how your golden years become brighter than ever. We're on this journey together, finding new ways to savor, to grow, and to care for ourselves, one mindful meal at a time. As we reach the end of our journey today, let's take a moment to reflect on the 4 simple but powerful habits we've explored together. Don't sit down right after eating. Give your body the gentle movement it needs to help digestion. Avoid drinking lots of water immediately after your meal. Allow your stomach the time and space to do its important work. Try not to fall asleep or lie down right after eating. Let your body process your food and avoid discomfort. And finally, resist the urge to keep snacking or overeating after you've finished your main meal. Listen to your body and give it the rest it deserves. These may sound like small changes, but their impact can be truly profound. Your body is wise and resilient, and even in these golden years, it responds with gratitude when you show it a little extra care. Remember, living well isn't about denying yourself pleasure or comfort. It's about finding a healthy balance that allows you to enjoy every day with more comfort, energy, and peace of mind. Think about your daily routine. Are there 1 or 2 habits you'd like to try changing this week? Maybe it's taking a gentle walk after dinner, waiting a while before reaching for a drink, or savoring the feeling of fullness without the need for just one more bite. Celebrate every small victory, and know that you're not alone on this journey. If today's video helped you, share your thoughts or experiences in the comments below. And if you found value here, please like, share, and subscribe for more stories and tips to keep your mind and body thriving at any age.